everybody, welcome back to the Dementia Road, my documentary of the ride that we took and are currently taking. If you like this channel, you find it helpful, please like, subscribe, share, and get those notifications. So today what I thought I would talk to you about is some of the services that we got. I will discuss how to qualify for them in the next video because it's going to be really too long if I do it all at once. But the biggest thing I'm going to say is the number one thing I wish I had known when this whole debacle, when this illness showed up, was number one, get their paperwork and their finances in order. Like I talked about last time, make sure you get yourself on everything, their phone bills, their heat and lights, their cable, internet, whatever bills they have so that you can speak for them. Make sure you get everything in order. And that was what I wish I had known. I think we get so caught up in the disease on how are we going to manage it that we don't really stop to think what is coming and how we need to prep now. Medicaid, I don't know how it works in all 50 states, but the general rule is Medicaid, oh, and there's two kinds. No one told me there's two kinds of Medicaid. Bet you didn't really know that either. But to get ready for Medicaid, full-blown Medicaid, like we all think of, is a 5-year look back. And so dementia, I would like to say, is often slow moving. My father-in-law's was very quick, but my mother and my mother-in-law was actually quite slow, and they easily made the 5-year look back had we gotten our crap together sooner, because we didn't know. So I can't emphasize this. Whatever you do, whether you're gonna at some point, even if you have them home, you're gonna need aides, you're gonna need help, and you're gonna need to qualify for that help. And I'm gonna tell you right now, other thing we wish we knew, start early. Even when they don't seem like maybe they need services, get them used to having help. If you can, I know it's really a fight and a struggle, because what happens with dementia is in the early stages, they are forgetful and they still function and they might even still drive and do all that stuff, but they're gonna hit something called, I'm gonna try and pronounce it right, anosognosia. They're going to hit something called anosognosia. It's a Greek word that literally translates without knowledge of disease, which means they're going to come a point where they don't believe they have dementia, and what they're going to believe, like my mother, the trash doesn't get picked up anymore because she has no idea what day it goes out, but she's right. The trash people are wrong. The trash people don't come anymore. I'm wrong. I don't ever know what I was talking about. I never knew. And my mom was a very agreeable person. I never knew what I was talking about. She was right. Everybody was wrong. She doesn't have the disease. What is everybody's problem? That's anosognosia. And it is headed in your direction if it isn't there already. Medicaid, which is how you're going to pay for a lot of things once you qualify. Next video. But I will tell you this because we had no clue. There are two types of Medicaid. Two. One is probably what we all think of, and that is chronic Medicaid, like chronic care Medicaid, or sometimes called institutional Medicaid, which is just what you think of. It's nursing home, you know, the $15,000 a month stuff that nobody could possibly afford. Well, unless you're super rich. The other one is called home-based Medicaid, or sometimes it gets called community Medicaid. And that Medicaid is to pay for things like adult daycare, people that will come into your home and help you, assisted living. When you qualify for that, you'll qualify for daycare, assisted living, doctors, lab work, adult diapers, they'll pay for, you name it. So when I qualified my mom for that, I had put her in a home-based program called PACE. PACE stands for Programs for All-Inclusive Care for the Elderly. It is available in 31 states. Unfortunately, not all 50, but 31 states have it. The price here in New York was somewhere around $7,000 a month. It's as expensive to keep them home as it is to send them to assisted living. At least here it is. But don't freak out, because I'm going to tell you, like I said, I'm going to explain all this. Next video, we talk about Medicaid and how to qualify. And actually, you're going to need legal advice. You're going to need to understand and work with business offices for that stuff. But I'll give you the general understanding, because I never understood Medicaid. But it's been explained to me about 8 million times now. So I kind of got it, and I think I can make it a little bit simple and give you examples of how that really works. But it's expensive, but there's a lot of supply and demand where there are just so many people with this disease. There aren't enough places to hold them. Some places have wait lists of like a year, I've heard, and it might depend on where you live. Where we put my mom and my in-laws, it wasn't so bad, and like they said, sometimes they passed through quickly because they really weren't right for the assisted living situation, so sometimes they move along a little bit faster. It depends on a lot of things. But once she qualified for that, I no longer paid her supplemental insurance through, I think, AARP or somebody handles all that. I no longer paid for that. No longer paid for any of her medicine. It was shipped. I had it shipped to my house because I didn't dare have it shipped to my mother's house. They were good with that, so it was shipped to my house. She did not need adult diapers, but they paid for adult diapers. She qualified to go to the day center 5 days a week, and they pick them up and they drop them off. And in the day center, they'll shower them for you if you need that. They have a hair salon. Some of the showers, if you have somebody with a mobility issue where you really can't get them in the tub at home, or into the shower at home, they have giant like 20 by 20 showers where they wheel them in, and they'll do that for you. They go out to the casino, they go out to eat, they go out to do all sorts of stuff. They will come into your house, help with bathing, help with dressing. They have speech therapists, occupational therapists, physical therapists, respiratory therapists. They will get you medical equipment like walkers and wheelchairs and oxygen and beds. I had access to nurses 24/7. They gave my mother the Med Alert thing, where you wear it around your neck or on your wrist. It's the whole I've fallen and I can't get up. Which she struggled with that, and she kept thinking she could call people on that phone and on that number and they would help them. So this is why I'm saying to you, the sooner you get them used to some of this stuff, the better off it's gonna go. They did med reminders where they would call the house, but in my mom's case, I had to have them come to the house, and her medicine was locked, which is why it came to my house, and then I went over, unlocked it, slid it in there for the aides to come. They came twice a day. You can have the groceries delivered, like Instant Cart or one of those things, and they won't pay for the groceries, but they will pay the delivery fee. On top of that, we have Meals on Wheels. I don't know if that's a national program or a local program where they make meals and they deliver to shut-ins or elderly or whatever. They paid for those meals. They covered any hospitalizations that she went to. They had nurses that followed her all the way through. She was hospitalized overnight for nothing major once. They followed all the way through the hospital. They get all the information. Like, you don't have to do that. You still have to go if you want to go. I went, but the nurses come. They get all the information for you. They get everything so that it is set, and you don't have to do that. And then should the time come, which it did for me, where my mother went to assisted living, even right up through nursing home care, that whole team of dietitians and everybody follow them all the way through, and it makes it much easier to get into assisted living. It's a bit seamless. And I don't know if you can hear that darn bell ringing. That's my dog. I taught her to ring a bell to go out, and she's standing at the back door wanting to go out. So my apologies. She's going to wait till I'm done. The biggest drawback, and there is a drawback, and the biggest complaint, my complaint, and I think it's everybody's complaint, if you have a fantastic primary care physician, which my mom did, no more. You have to go, it's managed care, you have to go to their clinic. They will draw the blood, they will make all the decisions and stuff with you, but you have to go through their people. Specialists are a different story. They have a whole list of specialists you can go see. They will even provide the transportation to get them there. I went to everything with my mom because she didn't always know why she was there. Y'all know this. They get confused. They don't know. Whatever. No, I'm fine. You're not fine. That's why you're at the specialist. But they have everything. They have the dentist there even. So they will do the transportation for all that. The other thing I found really annoying is there's like about 1,000 appointments before they get in. So someone's going to come to your house and explain the program and see if you're interested. They have to do just a general screening. And then they are going to send you to the facility, to PACE, for the day, or maybe 2 days, or maybe 3 days, because that's what they do. And so I sort of forced them to do it in 2 days because my mother just couldn't handle one whole day at once. She has lupus, and some days she just doesn't feel great, and so I had them split it in two, but they'll do one. You'll see your caseworker, your dietitian, your respiratory therapist, your physical therapist, your occupational therapist. You'll get to have lunch there. They'll do the whole thing. So if you're working, it can be a little tricky, and even if you're not working, they do things like, oh, by the way, Mom has an appointment next Thursday at 2 o'clock, and you're going, I can't go next Thursday at 2 o'clock, and no, we'll pick her up. No, I need to be there. Even if you do pick her up and drop her off, I still need to come to those appointments. I found that a little annoying. I would just call and force them to change the appointment. And I made them call me, and I made them stop calling my mother for reminders because that just was ugly too. So I just made them go through me. It seemed like it took a little bit for everybody to get on that program. That could just be the pace here. Things are going to be different in one facility to another. PACE also helped me with consumer-directed personal care, which I became for my mother. Sometimes it's called consumer-directed personal assistance program. It's where when somebody needs help at home and you're the one helping them, you can get paid to do that because honestly, there aren't enough aides to go around. Trust me, there are not enough aides to go around. If you've dealt with that, you already know. But you can get paid, or if you've got somebody that's coming in, maybe a family member or a good friend that's coming in and helping you, they can get paid. The program, I had to go to just like a little short program, maybe 4 hours of training. They made me get a TB test. That was the rule here in New York, which is really stupid because I wasn't going in and out of people's houses, but there were just things that they made you do. PACE does not do that. They have an affiliation with somebody who does. So it's really seamless. It's very simple. And then they determine, what do you do for your loved ones? So and they calculate, each task has some sort of hours attached to it. So do you do the laundry, meal prep, grocery shopping, bathing, stripping the bed? All those things have something attached. So mine worked out to about 9 hours a week, which was better than nothing. And here in New York, it's minimum wage. And honestly, aides probably only get minimum wage. So, and they don't pay for your mileage, and there's all sorts of ways you gotta call in and stuff if your parents or your loved one isn't living with you. So, but you might as well get something out of the deal. There are other ways to get paid. I'm really hesitant to talk about it because you will need a lawyer. Legal disclaimer, I am not a lawyer. I am not giving you legal advice. You will need an attorney to put a legal contract together. Family approval might be needed. You may have to pay payroll taxes, but you will absolutely need an attorney to do this. And again, I am not giving legal advice. I believe, and I don't know if this varies from state to state or how you get things set up, but there are times where your loved one can say, I want so-and-so to get paid X number of dollars an hour or something like that, but it has to be truly a legal agreement. Don't forget, their brain is going to disintegrate and they are not going to know exactly what is going on. So you want to make sure you get that done legally so that you never get accused of taking advantage. Medicaid shows up, you will be able to prove that you have legal right to take whatever the agreed upon amount was because there's a contract in place. Totally legal. Disclaimer, 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 you will need a lawyer. Make sure you understand that and get that done legally. And that's why you've got to do this early. You have got to do this early while your loved one still really has their faculties, even if they're just forgetful and they're early in the diagnosis. So that's my thing for today. Next video, I am going to talk about how I paid for all this, how I got Medicaid qualified and kept my mother's assets. That's why you gotta start early. I'm gonna say it again, early, early, early. So, ooh, clapping. All right, so that'll be the next video. It's probably gonna take me forever because I don't really know how to do all that screenshot stuff that I'm gonna really need to do. But that's what's coming next. Have a great day.